Hello and welcome to the Hub, the education network for Waltham Forest. On this website, education professionals can find all the information they need to work in education in this borough, and we cover the whole age range from 0 to 19. This video is going to show you how to register on the Hub, and registering is important as it unlocks a lot of features of the site. Once you have an account, you can log in, and then after that you'll be able to download files and attachments. Being logged in also means you can comment on news stories and interact in the community. It's free to register, and this video is going to show you how. So there are a number of ways to get to the registration form, but the easiest way is just to click in the top right hand corner of the screen where it says register, and this will take you to the registration form. So let's do that now. Okay, directed to a sign up sheet, so just go through the form filling in your details, and where it's got a red asterisk it just means that it's a mandatory field. So I'm going to fill this out using a dummy account that I've set up. So that's the dummy Gmail account that I've set up. And here we've got two options, tick box options. The first one's optional, and it's the option to subscribe to our fortnightly e-newsletter. And I want to tick this to make sure that we get this and we stay up to date with everything that happens on the Hub. And the second part is our disclaimer and privacy statement. You can read more about them just by clicking on them, but you won't be able to complete the registration without saying that you've ticked and understood these. So that's the first column done. The second column is about what our areas of interest are. I'm going to say leadership and management, and if I want to select more than one, then I just hold down the control button and click, and then I can select others. So I'm going to say I'm also interested in finance and budgeting, as well as strategy and policy. I do the same for the phases that I'm interested in, so let's say I'm interested in these two key stages. And then the important part of the registration is to indicate which school or organisation you work for and the role that you have there. So the first box is for the provider or organisation, and all you need to do is type in the first few letters, and then what happens is a drop down menu appears. So I'm going to pretend that I'm from a school in Chingford, so let's just type in first few letters here, and I've got a drop down menu here, so I'm going to pretend I'm from Chingford Foundation School, and it also mentions here if I'm from Waltham Forest School or setting, which Chingford Foundation School is. We'll also set up an account for you in WF Online, our sister site where you can book onto training online. So that's a side benefit of registering on the Hub, is that you get access to the online booking system within WF Online to book training. And the second part is also important, so indicates what role do you have at your school or your provider. So selecting one or most of these roles will send you through the normal registration process, but if you select one of the senior leadership roles, so these are chair of trustees, head teacher, the chair of governor, school business manager, or owner and manager, then you actually get sent into an approval queue, and your registration won't be able to be completed until a member of the Hub's admin team approves the account to be processed. So this will happen behind the scenes, and if it does get approved, which normally happens within a few days, if that, then you just get sent a confirmation email. But because I mentioned before that I'm registering as a teacher, then my role here is the teaching staff, so I just click that. So those are those two columns completed, and you can see that it barely takes a minute or two, and the final area that I need to fill in correctly is this captcha code, just to prove that I'm a human visitor registering on the site rather than a spam submission. So I'm going to enter what I see here. Doesn't matter if you get this wrong the first time round, because you can always have another go, and it will remember all your details, so you can have as many attempts as possible. So I'm happy with everything, so I'm now going to click on sign up. Just need to wait a little while for it to process, but then hopefully it will give me a tick mark and a message to say that it was successful. And indeed it does. It's given me a tick and it says a welcome message with further instructions has been sent to my email address. That's because this is only the first part of the registration process, so I now need to go to my email inbox, which I registered with, which luckily I've got in a new tab here, and you can see the email that's been sent. So I click on this and it says the account has been activated. I may now log in by clicking on this link or copying and pasting it into my browser if it doesn't open properly. So it can only be used once, and it leads to a page where I'll be able to set a password, and after setting the password, all I need to do is use the email address as my username and the new password that I've set. So I'm just going to I'm going to left click on this because I know it's going to open up a new tab where I will be able to log in. So here it is. It gives me the message, this is a one-time login. Click on this button to log in and to change my password. Okay, but only use once, so I've got to do it this time now that I've clicked on it. So it tells me that I've used it and for me to please change my password. So here's my email address, which I'll use in future to log in with, and I've got to enter my password once and then confirm it, and it'll also tell me how good a password I'm using. It tells me I'm using a good password and that they match. So that is near enough it. If I scroll down, I could add a picture to my profile if I wanted to, using the choose file option here, but I won't do that for now. And I can also click this if I don't want any of my notification emails to include graphics and styles. But really all I wanted to do was add a password to my account so I can log in future. So I'll do that and click save now. And I've been given a tick message. It says account not found in the hub and the changes have been saved. So you don't have to worry about the account not being found on the hub. This is related to the fact that we're on the community site at the moment, so it recognises the hub as the other aspect of the site. But we can tell that we are logged in now because you can see that we've got an orange My Account button in the top right hand corner. And to actually get back to the hub, just click on the hub icon in the top left hand corner. You can do that with every page of the hub. To get back to the home page, just click on this icon, and now it's taken me to the hub homepage, and I've got an orange My Account button here, and it's also got the orange quick links button box here detailing what popular pages are on the hub, and also this my most visited. So as I navigate around the hub in future, this section will be populated with those pages which I visit the most often. If I click on the My Account button, then you can see, because I registered as a member of the teaching staff of Chingford Foundation School, it's got a link to the Chingford Foundation School page, so I can get there easily, and it's also got a link to the community, and this will be populated with any community groups that I'm a member of in future. Okay, so that is how to register and get an account, and now that I'm logged in, I'll be able to download files and attachments from the site. So to wrap up, this has been a guide to registering on the hub. Please take your time to view our other videos if you need help with using the site.